Entertain questions on the report at the latter part of the meeting. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the December 31, 2019 audited financial statement.
Mr. Chairman, a stockholder has moved for the approval of the audited financial statements as of December 31, 2019, and the motion has been seconded by another stockholder.
There's a motion duly made and seconded for the approval of the audited financial statements for 2019. Are there any objections to this motion?
No objection, Mr. Chairman.
There being no objection, the motion is carried. Next item is the approval, ratification of the acts, contracts, investments, and resolutions of the Board of Directors and Management since the last annual meeting.
Mr. Chairman, a stockholder has moved for the approval and ratification of all acts, contracts, investments, and resolutions of the Board of Directors and Management since the last annual stockholders meeting of April 11, 2019, as they appear in the minutes of the board meetings and in disclosures made to the SEC and the PSE. This motion has been duly seconded by another stockholder.
There's a motion duly made and seconded for the approval, ratification of all acts, contracts, investments, and resolutions of the Board of Directors and Management since the last annual meeting of stockholders in 2019, as they appear in board minutes and in disclosures to the SEC and PSE. Is there any objection to this motion?
No objections, Mr. Chairman.
There being no objection, the motion is carried. Next item is the election of directors.
Mr. Chairman, the Office of the Corporate Secretary has received the nomination of the following to the Board of Directors of the company in accordance with the bylaws: Enrique K. Rason Jr., Jose Eduardo J. Alarilla, Christian R. Gonzalez, Thomas Arasi, Donato C. Almeda, and as nominees for independent directors, Carlos C. Ejercito and Jose P. Perez. The nomination committee has passed upon these nominations. Mr. Chairman, since there are only 7 nominees for the 7 board seats, a stockholder has moved that the corporate secretary be directed to cast all the votes for the 7 nominees for the proxies with specific instructions, and the said 7 nominees be declared duly elected for the ensuing. This motion has been duly seconded by another stockholder.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any objection to the motion?
No, Mr. Chairman.
There being no objection, the motion is carried. I hereby direct the corporate secretary to cast a vote for the 7 nominees, declare them as duly elected directors for the ensuing term. On behalf of the director, thank you for re-electing us to the board. Next item on the agenda is the appointment of external auditors.
Mr. Chairman, the stockholders nominated Sisip Gores Vilayo and Company as external auditor of the company, and another stockholder has moved to close the nomination. This nomination has been seconded by another stockholder.
Is there any objection to the close of the nomination?
There are no objections, Mr. Chair.
Being no objections, the nomination is closed. There being no other nominees, SGB is declared appointed external auditor for the fiscal year 2020. Next item on the agenda is other matters or questions. Mr. Secretary, have you received any?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, a stockholder asked the following question. Can you tell us how the construction of Solaire North is going?
Well, the construction of Solaire North was interrupted by the enhanced community quarantine declared last March 14. But with the declaration of putting Metro Manila or NCR under ECQ now, we have restarted the construction to the extent allowed under the quarantine. We expect a delay in the completion of Solaire North. By that period, that was covered by the lockdown. So it's starting and it's ramping up now to hopefully be full construction in the next few weeks. No other questions, Mr. Secretary?
Mr. Chairman, we received 3 questions from Proxy Alfred Molo of Deutsche Bank Manila, but they all refer to the arbitral award in connection with the arbitration case with the GGAM, and we find this inappropriate for the stockholders meeting, as the company has duly disclosed to the SEC and the PSE the result of this arbitration and our comments thereon. Aside from this, Mr. Chairman,
at any rate, all questions will be answered by email anyway, so every question will be answered.
there are no other questions, Mr. Chair. A stockholder has moved for the adjournment of the meeting, duly seconded.
Are there any objections to the motion?
No objection, Mr. Chair.
There being no objection, the meeting is adjourned, and I'd like to thank all stockholders for attending this meeting. And good afternoon, and for everybody, please be safe. Thank you very much.